All right. I apologize about that. My connection was not very good. So, apologize if you were jumping.
Oh gosh.
Oh, and we're back. My connection is weak, so we're gonna just see how this goes. And if for some reason it's not coming through very well, then we're just gonna have to redo it.
Yeah. We could redo it.
We could redo it if we need to, right?
Hey, I'm flexible.
Very cool. So hi, my name's Gavin Higashi. My goal for this interview is to provide positive information for our industry and just for anyone listening. The goal is to just keep people on a positive mindset. I know how important it is for me, so I'm very fortunate to have people around me that are willing to do this stuff with me. So today I have Jenn Allen with me. So Jen, thank you so much for being here with me. Let's go ahead and get started and just ask the questions that we got. So tell me, what are your whys? Like, why do you wake up every day? What's your reasons for cranking every day?
Yeah, no, I love that. I'm probably going to sound like a broken record with a lot of other people, but my why is my family. And specifically, my goal is to be able to help my children in the way that my parents helped me.
Cool.
So I'm really driven by that ability.
Yeah. So, kind of like the sacrifices and what your parents did for you, and you want to make sure that you take advantage of that.
Even as an adult, my parents have just been amazing supports, and they've been able to do that because of how they structured their life.
Right.
So that's what I'm driving for.
Very cool.
Every day.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Has there ever been anything that's happened in your life that, was a challenge that maybe you overcame that's kind of stuck with you?
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, I have a couple of things, so it's about to get real. So, and some people know this and some people don't, but it's just the truth. When I was in my late teens and in my early 20s, probably until 25, I definitely suffered from bouts of depression.
Okay.
And I took it upon myself eventually to say, like, that's not okay and this is not who I want to be. And that's when I started driving towards what do I need to do to get out of this funk? Yeah. Because I felt like it was my personal responsibility. I kind of did have that like quarter life crisis at 25 where I was like,
yeah,
is this it? Is this this is all I'm supposed to be doing?
Right.
So that was pretty big. And then our family, our immediate family, it got really hit by the recession. Okay. So this was after I kind of got out of my funk. I got married. We had a 14-month-old, and my husband was laid off. I was working on my MBA, staying home with this 14-month-old baby.
Yeah. My
husband was laid off. It was 2008. I couldn't get an interview. We were really struggling for several years. Oh, and we got pregnant with our second son. So it was a very challenging time. Yeah, and so through that was a huge challenge for us to overcome. Right. And it did make us stronger as a family.
That's cool.
So I think that was
crazy how those times that are like the biggest struggles, how much you remember that, but really how much it makes the good times worth it. Yes. How much more, right?
Yeah.
Like I know we've gone through that stuff too, and I just know how important it's been.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I appreciate about you is just how hard you work and just how you're constantly learning. And I know I learned from just watching you doing that. And so, I'm trying to constantly read and listen to podcasts and all that kind of stuff. So what are some suggestions that you got for us?
I wrote down some things. I thought about it. I wrote a whole blog post out.
Perfect.
That because I wanted to be sure to link to some resources that other people could use.
That's great.
And I don't want to have to be like writing it down. And so I have lots of other ideas of what I do. Like I said, I had to figure out how to keep myself out of funks and what triggers me and all this. And so I definitely delved into more of that. But as far as podcasts, so have you listened to Entree Leadership?
No.
Oh, you would love it. So if you listen to Entree Leadership, it's going to give you lots of great ideas of how to grow personally, in business, if you have a team, how to help them grow. And it also gives you tons of additional books that you can delve into, and podcasts and YouTube channels, all kinds of great resources. So that's a big one. I also really like a couple other ones for work, in balancing work and family, because I think as a woman and as a mother, that can be a big challenge. I like Being Boss.
Okay.
And Boss Mom.
Okay.
Those are a couple good ones. And then some other powerful women that I enjoy following because they are just amazing with positivity and how they're driven and how they take care of their family and take care of their business. I love Miss Chalene Johnson. And Marie, I'm going to say it wrong, Forello, I think is how it is. She does Marie TV. So those are my podcasts that I really have discovered and enjoy listening to. I listen to them in the car or while I'm getting ready.
Is it every day for you? Every day you're listening and feeding?
I'm doing something, some kind of reading or listening, and I just really feel out kind of what I need for that day, and I tap into it.
Very cool.
So I don't hold myself to... back when I was, really struggling in my 20s, I was very much a perfectionist. And so I had to work through that, and working through that and allowing more flexibility in my life has given me freedom to actually kind of let myself off the mat. And so I have kind of a routine, but if I said, Jen, you're going to listen to 30 minutes of podcasts every day, and then I didn't do it, I would feel like I failed somehow. So yeah, so I kind of give myself some room in there. And then books I've been reading. So I just finished You're a Badass.
Okay.
So good.
I'm writing that one down.
So good. And it kind of looks like the cover and everything looks like it's geared towards women, but it's really for everybody. And it gives you really step-by-step application on how to reach certain goals and how to really better every area of your life.
Very cool.
So that one's really good. Present Over Perfect, which again, still working through some of those perfectionism tendencies. That was really great by Shauna Nyquist recently. The Miracle Morning, especially for those of you who aren't morning people. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Ninja Selling with Larry Kendall. It's just how I run my business.
Do you have that? Yeah.
Read it. It's so good. And The One Thing with Gary Keller, of course.
Good book. I read that as well.
Helps you hone in on those. So those are some of my favorite resources, and I've got links to.
Well, I appreciate you doing the blog post. I'll for sure put a link in the comments of this video to that.
Well, I had so much more that I thought could be said than probably what we would get at here, and I didn't want it to just all be in my head and not out there for somebody else to take advantage of.
Well, I appreciate that. Not that you're perfect or anything, but to do a blog post, that's pretty impressive so that everyone can see all this stuff. So
I'm always thinking, how can I plus, if I'm going to do something, how can I plus it to really make it valuable to other people? I don't want to do it in a vacuum, so.
Yeah. I'm in the vacuum.
You're in the vacuum.
So any mantras or sayings or anything you kind of live by and kind of repeat in your head every day?
I always say it's good enough.
Oh.
It's good enough. I do good enough housekeeping. I, parent good enough.
Yeah.
I do what has to be done and hit on, if you're looking at the 80-20, I hit on that 20%, and that's good enough. I'm a big checklist person, and I have a checklist every day. And if I get 80% of that checklist done, that's good enough. I'm not going to make myself sick over trying to get it all done. So. And
that comes back to the perfectionist stuff,
It
right?
does. It does.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I so appreciate you doing this with me.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it's a work in progress on my end, but this was definitely enjoyable. So I appreciate you doing this. Again, thank you for writing that post. I'll make sure that we put the link in the comments, and
we'll try and throw this video somehow in there as well for future folks who bump into it.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.